You could have whatever you like. Yes, you can have whatever you like with a good credit score. A great credit score is obtainable, but a good score will get you most of the things that you want. Good afternoon. My name is Remus Bowman, and this is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I would like to invite you to tune in and give yourself an opportunity to listen. This is information that most of us have said many times. I wish someone had told me this. I wish I knew more about credit, because credit is the focal point of my financial life. If you do nothing, nothing will change. I've had a number of people who've come into my office over at Toyota New Orleans and enrolled in the credit restoration program, and we were able to help them get cars with much lower down payments or buy houses and the whole 9 yards. By the way, I like to encourage you to go to www.youandyourcredit.com. That's www.youandyourcredit.com for a complete library of all my shows, information on getting credit restoration, your credit restored, and information on some of the sponsored companies that help us keep this going. We've got Toyota New Orleans and Premier Dodge, who've been a great assist to me in helping me keep this project going. They've been great, very supportive, and if you go to the website, you'll be able to pull up their complete inventory of both their new cars and used cars. Did we just lose the mic? Hello? Guys. All right, you'll be able to pull up their complete inventory and of new and used cars, along with the prices, and get information. That's youandyourcredit.com. That's www.youandyourcredit.com. Also, we also help people get prepaid credit cards now. Through United Financial Services, you can get a prepaid card for as minimum as little as $200 through United Financial Services, and we're going to put a web link on the website where you'll be able to go directly from the website to register for that credit card. There are many other services that we offer along with credit restoration. One of the things I like to speak about today is the fact that if you don't manage this, if you don't pay attention to it, then you're surely going to fall back into a low credit score. Last week, I had a guy who came in. He's been doing business with me for about 2 years. A year or so ago, he had gotten up to about a 650 or so credit score, and we were looking forward to doing business with him, but there were some other challenges at the time. The down payment wasn't available. It was a little upside down in his vehicle. Quite a number of things had gone on. So he called me up about a week or so ago. He says, "Mr. Remus, I'm ready to go. Ready to get my new car." Now, he had already been in the credit restoration program, so at that time he was a 650 or better credit score. So I didn't think that there was anything that would preclude him from being able to get the car that he wanted. It's been about a year since he had been in the program. Everything should be great. Now, here's the catcher. He had not been monitoring his credit. So consequently, information had come on his credit report that he didn't know was there. Of course, I wouldn't know that whether or not they were there because I don't monitor people's credit when they're not in the program. That's a part of the program for us to do that, for the company to do that. So we wouldn't know the information was there, and consequently, what happens is my customer who had been over a 650 beacon score and walks into the dealership. He's got a down payment. He's ready. He's got his tax money. He's a 450 beacon score. What happened? In less than a year, he stopped managing his credit. So when you stop managing your credit because you think you got it where you want it to be, you've just made a big error. You must manage your credit. It's a living, breathing instrument. Every day, someone could be sending information into the credit bureaus that may be incorrect information, maybe information you have no idea why they're sending it. One of the accounts that was on this guy's report was over 6 years old. He said, "Man," I said, "Buddy, I remember your report because I have a very good memory because I do this all the time." He says, "None of this stuff was on here." He had about 3 accounts that had all of a sudden appeared on his credit report that he had no knowledge of. One account was for an instrument that he had purchased for his daughter, and his daughter is now 15 years old when she was 6 years old. So you can see how by not monitoring his account, his credit report, how something like this can happen, because you got to pay attention to what's going on. If you don't do this one thing, then you're subject to have surprises. So consequently, because he's a good friend, I wanted to go ahead and put him in in his new car, but I told him, I said, "Buddy," I said, "I think we can take maybe 30 to 60 days to clean this stuff up, and then we could have you come in, just hold on to your money, and we'll get you in your car." I would tell anyone to do that instead of going in and buying a car at 20+% interest rates, because you will be stuck paying that note for that 5 or 6 year term that you signed on for. Whereas if you took 30 to 60 days, 90 days in some cases, get the stuff taken off your credit report, you're much better off. And you're going to have a lower interest rate if you decide that you want to trade the vehicle in, or God forbid something happens, like another instance that happened just last week. One of my other customers, his car was on the side of the road, parked. And again, this was a guy that we had gotten up to above a 600 beacon score 2 years ago. And what happens? Somebody hits his car. He's parked on the side of the road. Someone hits his car. The insurance company is only responsible to pay off the remaining debt on the car. And so consequently, what happens? My buddy had no car, and his credit score had diminished. He was back into the 400 zone. I keep telling I preach it every day. You got to monitor this stuff. Hey, George, thank you for calling in. Hello?
Yes.
What's up, brother?
Hey, man, I have a testimony based on that subject.
Share it with me.
40 days ago, I checked my credit. I was a 785. I checked my credit last week. I was a 705.
Wow.
Something happened. But by me checking it within a quarter period of time, I was able to catch it. Made one phone call. Found out the account wasn't mine. It was another George Russell. It was George F. Russell instead of a George E. Russell. And I'm on my way back up. That's by managing my credit. Even though I thought I had pretty decent credit, I still keep an eye on it.
Well,
so I agree with 100% what you say.
Yeah,
but here's what I think they should do.
Mm-hmm.
If you credit challenge, and credit is soft, whatever, and you're going to buy a car, I suggest you contact Mr. Remus Bowman with the car information and the credit information. And a combination of that will get you a better result, I'm sure.
Absolutely. You've got to take this stuff seriously. Last week I had it wasn't one of my customers, but someone else. I understand how essential it is to have an automobile. We got to have a car. We got to have a roof over our head for our families, and transportation to get around to and from work. And of course, right now, a lot of people are getting their income tax money, and they say, "Well, this is my opportunity to get out, to remove myself from this adversity." But if they could only imagine, they could take a very short period, a short window of opportunity to clean this stuff up, to get this negative stuff, the credit report, walk in, put your taxes down, put your tax down and license down, get the car of your dreams, and keep it moving. And be able to trade the car in or buy a new car. You may even have equity in the vehicle.
Listen, what about this?
Yeah.
Johnny Cochran says, preparation. Why not know you're going to get your income tax return and start working on your credit now, and you won't have to wait.
And
you shouldn't wait till you get your money to start processing on what you're going to buy and get assessed with what your credit look like and how much money you can spend and what your monthly payment you can afford. You can start right now.
You're absolutely right, George. If you start right now, then you'll be ready.
Right now. Ain't no help. You must start right now.
It makes
you're going to buy a car. You know your money coming.
Right.
All you need now is to get the best value for your money.
Right.
That's the most. And based on that, it's not only what you pay for the car, it's the interest rate. APR, that's what it's called. So let's just get started.
Yes.
Hey, call Mr. Bowman and go on your way.
Don't
buy it, just try it.
Give me a call at 504-274-8117, or you can send me an email at remusbowman55.com, 55 at gmail.com, or you can message me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're all over the place. There's no excuse for not reaching out because we're accessible. And this is an opportunity for you to have more. Think about it. Are you in a better situation if you go into a car dealer and you got a 450 beacon score and you want a $13,000 car, and the guy tells you, I need $4,000 or $5,000 down because your credit score is below what's acceptable by the bank. Yeah.
Mr. Bowman, that number that you're calling out, that's too low because there's going to be a lot of people over that number. But here's the number you should think about.
Right.
If you're under 600
right,
and going to buy a car, you're going to pay a little bit too much. Under 600.
Yeah, you're right. If you're in the fives, you're still gonna have a high interest rate.
If you're under 600,
mm-hmm.
If you're under 600, you're gonna have some credit challenges all getting approved, and they're gonna charge it against you. They're gonna charge you extra fees for and everything else. If you 650 and above, you qualify for some of the incentive rates that the manufacturer has.
Right.
But if you don't get your credit up, it's kind of unfair because you don't qualify everything that comes with the car.
That's available.
You paying more for the car and get less of the opportunity to buy the car.
Right.
So instead of getting a Corolla, you wind up with a lesser car. You wind up with a used car. Instead of getting a new car, you wind up with a used car.
Right. I think one of the problems, I had a conversation with a friend early today, and I was like, I was telling her how frustrated I was that, this information's out there, it's available. You don't have to go through this. All you got to do is include this process as a part of your life, a part of your daily life. And if you do that, then you won't have these problems. And I was telling my friend, I was like, man, this lady was frustrated because she had to put down $5,500 as a down payment on a car. And she was yelling and screaming, and she was upset, and you could see her walking up and down, and she was losing her mind. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, wow, you could have avoided this. You really could have avoided this. I mean, it's terrible when we
Well,
just,
some people don't know. Some people don't know.
yeah.
But now you know.
Now you know.
Some people didn't know.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Well, we need to get, we need to get more people in to credit restoration so we can help them save their money. Because if you don't have to put that $4,000 or $5,000 down payment down, that $2,000 or $3,000 that you could save, you could do a whole lot more in your household, or even create a savings account. Put yourself in a comfortable situation where you're not living from paycheck to paycheck, and have a little nest egg for when that adverse day that comes up. But
that's perfect. But the down payment is really not the concern. The concern is the APR.
I agree.
They're gonna get you on the rate. The down payment.
What kind of
is a negative? So it counts against your bottom line. It takes off your bottom line.
Right.
So that's fine and dandy. But the APR is tacked on. That's the difference.
Well, also, George, some banks charge discounts, and what happens when they charge those discount fees? It absolves most of the down payment, and that's the thing that I was thinking about, is how that really, even though let's say, for example, you could walk into a car dealership and and put down $4,000 or $5,000 on a $15,000, $20,000 car. Now you assume, in most cases, that it's going to reduce your payment, your amount financed by the amount of down payment. But in actuality, what happens is, if you putting $4,000 or $5,000 down and the bank's charging you a $3,000 fee or a $4,000 fee, then you really don't have the equity that you think you're having, because it's being absorbed by the penalties that are being charged by the lender because of your credit score. It's time for
you've been really bad. That's that cheaper.
Say you gotta pay me. You gotta pay me.
But guess what?
For me to take this loan,
like the hills and valleys, man. Your job is to stay on the hill while you stay in the valley.
Yeah.
You can fix that.
And we can get
that fixed.
fixed.
If you got a credit situation, you can fix that.
You can fix it, man.
If credit challenge, you can fix that.
No doubt.
There's no excuse. I got a guy right here on the radio trying to give you this information. You can be fixed. And it don't take 5 years.
Within a very short period of time for most people. George, it's time for our first break. Can you stick with me for a little while?
Hey man, listen, I'm going to down to my store and turn the lights on, and I'll call you back for the store.
All right, brother. Thank you. Hey, it's time for our first break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm Remus Bowman, and that's my good friend, Mr. George Russell, out of Houston, Texas. A very smart guy when it comes to credit. Matter of fact, I learned some things from George years ago. When I was still playing with low numbers, he was playing with the 700s. So thank you, George, for being a good mentor to me. And I'm talking 20, 30 years ago. Hey, this is You and Your Credit. We'll be right back. Time for our first break. Yeah, what's up?
With soft shell crawfish, catfish, livers, and pickles. And that's just for starters. What about entrees? If this is getting your mouth watering, then you need to come to the Praline Connection. Our down-home Cajun Creole-style restaurant has been providing soul food at affordable prices for over 20 years. And our pralines are delicious. We're a restaurant, a gift shop, and a candy shop, all in one. Bring your friends and enjoy an amazing meal today. Come see us at 542 Finchman Street in New Orleans, or check us out online at www.pralinconnection.com, and be sure to like us on Facebook. You can also give us a call at 504-943-3934.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Remus Bowman. I want to invite you every Monday at 12 o'clock live for You and Your Credit. You can call in. You can ask me questions. Believe me, I've got most of the answers for you. We're going to help you get a good credit score. We're going to open doors for you to have an opportunity to be successful and pay low interest for your automobile, your home, your credit cards, everything that you buy. We're going to put you on a great path to have a successful future. Send me your request for information. I'll be glad to answer your question. Every Monday at 12 o'clock, join me from 12 to 1 Monday afternoon for You and Your Credit, originating from New Orleans Talk Network.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
This is Captain Black.
This is Brother Al Mims. Join us for our new show,
The Hostages to Fight Back, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Central.
We are all hostages to something,
But it's up to us.
find the courage to fight back and make the change.
So tune in to become the change you want to see in the world, here on New Orleans Talk Network.
Brothers and sisters! Brothers and sisters! I don't know what this world is coming to.
We're back. This is the New Orleans Talk Network. I'm your host, Remus Bowman, and this is You and Your Credit. On last week, I was telling the story about one of my clients. About 2.5, 3 years ago, he walked into the dealership, bought a car. He says, I'm gonna do what I can to improve my credit. So he got his score up to about a 700 and 650 or so. And all of a sudden, someone runs into his car on the side of the road. And these bad things happen to good people. These things happen all the time, man. And that's the biggest thing that most people don't think about. It could happen to you. You think that just because your car's sitting in your driveway and it runs and the AC blows cold and the heater works and everything's comfortable, that nothing could happen that's going to have an effect on you from that part of your life. But here's what happened. The insurance company paid him a fair price for the car. The gap insurance is going to pay off the difference. But now, instead of a 600 or 650 beacon score, he's a 450 overnight. So here's what happens. The guy gets in an accident, or the car was involved in an accident. He wasn't even in the car. So he don't even get bodily injury or anything. He has no ways to get any additional money to come up with a down payment other than to figure out a way to come up with a down payment on his own, because the insurance company is now responsible for giving him money, in effect, above the value of the vehicle. They're only responsible for paying off that car or paying off the value of the vehicle, and the gap insurance pays off the difference. So he's not even in the car. The car is parked on the side of the road. Guy runs into the car and demolishes it. Where's that leave you? 450 beacon score. Now, we want to think that we're in a comfortable position. It can't happen to me. I had news for you. It happens all the time to lots of people. It's that thing called life, that road called life. Bad things happen to good people, and we end up in situations that are created by no fault of our own. It happens all the time. Matter of fact, I told a story some months ago about one of my other customers who had been in a couple of accidents, and the same thing happened to her. And, I could remember riding in the car with her and watching the tears come out of her eyes because she had no idea what she was going to do. But the good thing is there are ways to overcome your situation. Just call me. I'll give you a pat. I'll write you a prescription on how to prepare for an adverse situation that might occur. Start by improving your credit score. Start by finding out what's the anniversary date on your loans or your obligations, and try to pay them in advance of the reporting date. That's easy. Think about it. You're still going to have a responsibility to make the payment. If you're going to make the payment anyway, wouldn't it be easier for you, let's say, for example, and this is something that most people don't think about, when you're paying off debt and you're paying the debt late, now you got additional charges that have been added to that debt, right? But if you're paying the debt off at the pure amount, that's the agreed amount that you're being asked to pay, that additional $25, $35, $50 that's being charged to your account, that's money you can have to do other things with. In actuality, all it takes is for us to just change our patterns. Change our patterns. See the worth, see the value, and doing things a little bit different. If you see the value in doing things a little different, then you'll benefit from it and you'll have more disposable income. Disposable income is a word that's used that says that you have more money to spend. That's not being obligated wordlessly or needlessly by being consumed by late payments or high interest rates or high down payments. Think about it. Wouldn't you like to walk in a cable or electric company and get your lights on without having to put a down payment? It's a wonderful thing. I got a cell phone over a year ago. iPhone 6 plus an iPad, never had to put a down payment. They just sent it to me. That could be you. You too could qualify for that type of initiative that's being given by these different manufacturers. When you walk into Toyota to buy a car, and they say 0%. Not just Toyota, you Dodge or Chevrolet or Ford or wherever. 0% or 1,000 rebate or 2,000 rebate. Over the course of a 6-year contract, at 0%, you're saving $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 at 0%. Now, if you don't qualify for the 0%, now you're paying an interest. And that interest could be, in some cases, almost double the price of the car. I've seen people pay $10,000, $15,000 in interest. Would that be easier for you to think about it? You're paying the money in the same amount of time, but you're paying the money in the same amount of time, but you're paying the principal plus the interest. Now, when you add the interest along with the principal, can you see how that increases your monthly payment? Because you're still paying it over 60 payments, or whatever term that you've agreed on. Just call me or contact me through Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or Gmail, Remus Bowman 55 at Gmail, and we'll help you get on the right track, man. Save you some money so you can do some things, some additional things with your income. One of the things that most people don't know, and I'm going to throw this out there, and I used to, every time I did the show before in the past, I would always do this. I would always go over this information. Today I'm going to go back to it. This is what's affecting your credit score. These are the different 5 different things that determine your credit score. Number 1 would be the type of credit used. You could have revolving or installment. Revolving installment payments are like when you're making payments on your car. Every month, car note is due on the 1st of the month. You make that payment by the 1st of the month. Then guess what happens? The payment is scheduled, it's being made, and there you go. So on the date, the payment's due date, your payment's made, shows up on your credit bureau, pays as agreed. Now you're burning with gas. You're doing good. You're doing something great. Hey, it's time for our second break. This is You and Your Credit on the New Orleans Talk Network. We're going to be right back. Hello?
Come. New morning show alert. New morning show alert. The Warren Ballantyne Show airs daily from 9 to 11 a.m. Central Time, bringing you the news you need to know. The Warren Ballantyne Show, now on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Hi, this is Jill Samuels with Faith That Works. Join us every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time and 12 noon on New Orleans Talk Network as we change the lives of people with the Word of God by equipping the body of Christ to evangelize the world while reconciling people back to God. Let us continue to carry the water to the desert because Jesus is the living water.
Stop this hauling water to the sea.
This is Belinda Parker Brown, President of Louisiana United International. I am the host for A Force for Justice. You can listen to us every Thursday morning at 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central, exposing the injustice in our criminal justice system. You can also call in at 504-341-8255 and tell us how you have become a victim in our criminal justice system.
On the New Orleans Talk Network, A Force for Justice with Belinda Parker Brown.
What's up, New Orleans? Listen, this your man Fred, host of your #1 sports talk show down here in New Orleans. Yeah, I said it. FanView, where real fans talk about real sports. Join me, Bank Boy Recite, your people's man B, and Madman the Big Fan as we talk about all the latest sports topics going down here around the country. Again, FanView, where real fans talk about real sports.
You can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like with a great credit score. Great credit score is 700 and above, just so you know. A good credit score is 650 to 700. Anything less than a 600, 650 beacon score is considered to be fair. Less than a 600 beacon score is considered to be poor. You know, a lot of times we have a tendency to give ourselves information and create within ourselves a false sense of security. If your beacon score is less than a 650, you do not have good credit. If your beacon score is less than a 650, you're not considered to be a good credit customer. Now, here's the thing that most people don't understand. The difference between a 600 and 650 beacon score, sometimes, more often than not, is just learning how to pay your bill on time. In order to get a 650 or 600 beacon score, you got to have a fairly decent payment history. That's why a lot of times when we go into an automobile dealer or furniture store, because they can look at your credit score, credit history, and you see that there are certain bills that you pay on time like clockwork. But then there's this other stuff that's there. Now, this other information that's on the credit report may or may not even be legitimate. It might not even be yours. I had a situation recently where a young man and his father has the same name. The young man was 25, 26 years old. Father's 60 years old. But then their credit was connected. Can you see how that can have an adverse effect on you? Or how that can have a positive effect on you? Now, in some cases, you know, because Pops pays his bills, got good income, that's a good thing. But at certain ages, things start happening, things start breaking down. If you haven't developed a nice little amount of money and, savings for retirement and that kind of thing, and you end up without insurance and you get things happen, and I always say bad things happen to good people. But suppose something happened in that person's life that you are connected to on their credit, and now all of a sudden your credit score depreciates as a result of their lack of payments. And and vice versa. Sometimes parents want to co-sign for or have to co-sign for their children to get cars or whatever. And suppose the person doesn't pay the car. Suppose the person not only does not pay the car, but doesn't have insurance on the car, and the car is involved in an auto accident and is demolished, and there's no recourse. Now you're responsible for the entire bill as a co-signer. There's so many different things that can happen in our lives. So what we could do is, instead of doing that, as I said earlier, we have a little prepaid credit card that you can get. I'm going to have that installed on our webpage, where a person can go into this prepaid card and just put $200 down and start a line of credit right there. If you have a person that doesn't have any credit, and you want to start them with some credit, start getting them a credit file. Do it that way. Prepaid cards. It's a widely recommended use of your credit. If you do certain things, you can avoid liability. I understand my good friend George Russell's back. George, you back?
Hey man, I'm back.
It's a wonderful thing, brother. It's a wonderful thing. George, before we talk about credit, I want everybody to know that you were in New Orleans for Mardi Gras Day. I'm very jealous of you and Dwight hanging out with the mayor on St. Charles Avenue. Speaking with the king and queen of Zulu and everybody else.
Chief of police.
And my good friend was the chief of police in New Orleans, hanging out. You guys had a great time.
Hey man, we try to do good.
Well, when you make good decisions, good things happen. And you're gonna be doors are open that a lot of people may not. Now, those doors have been there for everyone all the time, and people don't understand how easy it is to walk in those doors. But all you've got to do is apply yourself. And so, you want to tell us a little bit about the Mardi Gras Day?
Man, it was fantastic, man. There was a lot of people in the city. The city made a lot of money. Other than that drunk driving incident, crime was kept to a minimum. New Orleans getting better. Matter of fact, I'm checking the property line. The property value is also going up. So right now, it's a perfect time to have good credit and start investing on some new property, whether it's townhomes or single-family homes. Now's the time.
It's a good time to do a lot of good things.
When Republicans get in office, interest rate on home loans have a tendency to go up.
Yes.
And that's history. That's not me. That's history.
Right. Price of gas goes up, and the price and interest rates go up.
So now's the time.
Better hurry. You better hurry if you're planning to buy anything, because it's just the way it's a trend. Because what happens is certain elements of society make their income off those type of vehicles, like loans and and investing in banks and insurance companies and if that's how they're going to make their money, then they make their money off interest payments. So that's what a philosophy
Mr.
is.
Bowman,
Yeah.
A lot of times we have an alibi saying we didn't know. Your trust is so powerful, so you can't use that no more. And you know.
Now you know.
What I suggest you do is go one step further and give you a phone call.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's my suggestion.
I'm here to help, brother. I'm definitely here to help. You know, it's kind of nice to have this information available to me. I've learned it over a number of years, and it's nice to have friends who are pretty astute as well. George.
Yeah.
Are you still there?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I was getting a lot of feedback, man.
And now I'll leave from the car to my office.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How's the weather out there in Texas?
Hey, man, it rained all day yesterday. It's a little overcast, but it's nice.
It's nice. Well,
what I say is, any day on the dirt, instead of dirt on you, it's a great day, right?
It's a good day, brother. It's a good day. And let me just say this for anyone who is listening to this show. If you do nothing, guess what's going to happen? Nothing. Do nothing, nothing's going to happen. Nothing's can change until you make up your mind and make a decision to get in the game. Let me find out what I can do to help myself. Let me find out what I can do to help myself. Contact me. My name is Remus Bowman. You can call me I'm at Toyota New Orleans, youandyourcredit.com, Remus Bowman on Facebook, Remus Bowman on Twitter, Remus Bowman on Instagram. I mean, I'm just everywhere, and I can answer.
I say people who listen to me, call him out. Take that challenge.
Absolutely.
Take that challenge. Make him prove what he said he can do. Give him a call.
And guess what? The phone call is free. The consultation is free. So what do you have to lose? A decision to do nothing.
Sound like it's all game to me.
Hey,
ain't no lose.
You can't lose. You can't lose when you're getting information. When you're learning. I'm telling you, if my listeners can understand how having this information, it's like I use the expression tool in the toolbox. You know, a carpenter can't build a house without a hammer. This is a tool for life. Tool in the toolbox of life. If you got this tool in your toolbox, everything changes. And for the people that we've been able to have a positive effect on, you should see the smile on their face. You should see that's one less thing that they have to worry about. Don't have to worry about it.
Mr. Bowman?
Yes, sir.
I got to interject something right quick.
Yes, sir.
What you said was 100% true. But what you missed is, if you don't apply the tool, won't nothing happen.
That's true.
You hear my information, you similar agree with me or not agree with me, whatever, and don't take a step to move towards, then come on, man.
You know, one thing I realized, though, George, most of the people that have low credit scores, they all know it. I've never met a person who had a low credit score that didn't know it. So it's not like it's going to take you by surprise that when you walk into a car dealer and the guy says you got to put down this
hey man, a low credit score is not the end of the world. That's a circumstance.
Yes.
All we got to do is fix the circumstance. A low credit score, it's not the end of the world.
No. You can improve it. You can improve it. Hey, guys.
Go
ahead.
It didn't get there by itself. So you got to do something to get it off.
Got to get it done.
And go to the pros. Go to Mr. Remus Bowman and take that challenge. And let's see what he can do. and call back in 30 days, 45 days, and give your testimony one way or the other. That's my challenge. Is for you to challenge him.
Well, let me just say this for anybody who are not aware of this. You can go to my Facebook page. There are people on there that have spoken about the effects of the program. If you go to my YouTube page, there are videos of people that have bought vehicles as a result of their association with me, and there's also people that have bought cars and houses as their association with me. The thing is that when you need to make a decision, you need to make it today. I'll be at Toyota New Orleans at 2 o'clock. It's time for us to wrap up the show, George. I appreciate you coming on, buddy.
Hey, man, another successful show, man. Good job.
If you do nothing, nothing's going to change. This is You and Your Credit. You and Your Credit with Remus Bowman, George Russell. Go to www.youandyourcredit.com for some great information on how to improve your credit. Go check us out on Facebook. George has a page on Facebook as well. Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. Free.
We go live.
A free intervention. Free. Come see me. Come see me. You and Your Credit on New Orleans Talk Network. We'll see you Monday.